Oh, I have these pink coral columns. I'm putting them right here. Look at this questioning slime here. He's like, what do you mean you got no gadgets? What's wrong with you? Oh yes, beautiful. Alright, and it looks like this area could use some green shrubs. Beautiful, look at that. Let's kick this thing off. Now, my poor audio. I gotta figure out a better solution for this audio, because it is just suffering. Is it all stuttery for you guys, or does it just look stuttery to me? I have a feeling the cause of it is because, excuse me, I think the cause of it is because I'm running OBS in admin mode, which gives it the highest privileges, which means it gives it higher privileges than my audio drivers. And so the audio drivers are like struggling, like OBS is pulling the audio in instead of the drivers pushing the audio to OBS, and so it gets all stuttery. And the reason I have to run OBS in administrator mode is because by default games run in like the highest privilege setting. And so this game is so poorly optimized with the graphics and so hungry for the graphics processing power that OBS stutters real bad if I don't start it in admin mode. So when we're done with Slime Rancher, hopefully the audio will be okay. I think there's probably a delay with the mic, but I guess it'll be okay for one last stream. I updated my audio drivers last night, which is why they're a problem. But let's go ahead and sleep until morning. I'm so used to Elytra and Minecraft again. I keep playing Minecraft, and so I'm used to like taking fall damage and all that stuff, but finally got my endgame gear, Elytra, fully enchanted netherite armor, and I gotta be honest, it feels good. Let's do some chores. This will probably be the last Slime Rancher video in a while, at least until they update with the new content. I know the labyrinth is coming. Well, I don't know that it's coming. There's been so many allusions to the labyrinth, and even on the map, like you can see where they left room for it to enter, like up here, this is as far towards this edge as we can go, and the clouds kind of barely come over the edge. But here, there's like a lot of extra stuff on the top left. There's a lot of extra stuff on the the bottom left. There's even stuff on the bottom. So it looks like we're probably only 2/3 into the map, maybe half if they expand it even more. So, anyways, I'm really excited to see what they come up with for the labyrinth part. But it's not out yet. And we'll have to see what happens. Now, one interesting thing is that all of these pathways were locked by Gordos, but not by slime thieves. And I totally forgot that until just now. The slime thief used to be a thing. There was also no like 7Z reward program that was essentially a cosmetic money dump. So the toys kind of help keep the slimes calm. Just feed the slimes, they stay pretty calm. Or, you know, if you put in the music box. I think these are all fully upgraded. I'm gonna fully upgrade these, just because we have the money to do it. That'll give us the freedom, maybe later on, to put whatever things we want in any of these. They'll all have music boxes, they'll all have collectors, auto clears, solar shielding. Obviously the high walls are a plus. And the other thing that they haven't implemented yet is some kind of revival of the beauty automation. I don't know if that was like they had issues with it so they scrapped it, or if they want to reinvent it so that they didn't want to just copy paste it in this early release and then have to change it all on people. I kind of agree with that approach. I think it's kind of a mistake-ish to copy paste something from an old game only to completely overhaul it later, because then you have save state issues and you have all kinds of nonsense that people tend to get mad at. Let's see, are these guys hungry? Everyone's hungry. They're trying to go towards this food so they can see it. Maybe the solar shielding will help them not see the food, so that they're not just looking at it like, come on, it's right there. Just give us the cabbages. Oh well. Okay, those guys will get fed pretty soon. We don't even have enough spare food to put into the ash dispenser currently. So we will... Oh, man. Always one extra, or one too few. One too few, or one too... See, again, I'm telling you. I wasn't even paying attention that time. Alright. Those guys are good. Those guys are good. We'll get some ports from here, just so that it's not like it's not completely full and overflow. I haven't seen any performance issues with the number of entities in the world. I know it's a physics-based game, so if you have like a million ports and the lighting that comes off the ports because they all glow a little bit. I know that some game engines have difficulty with that. So the game will actually start lagging a lot if you have a lot of these ports. I'm gonna put these down actually in the refinery. I haven't done angler ports or rock ports in a while. What's up, Dirty Gamer Gal? Thank you for the lurk. Life's been crazy. Finally getting the lurk. Yeah, super appreciate that. Won't ask you how your life's been crazy. I totally get it. The lives are different. This week has been a crazy week. My weeks are usually pretty chill. Pink Ninja... Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how it is. What's up, Yoshi? How you doing? Snoop Dogg! For those that are tuning in on YouTube, which we're not multi-streaming or anything, that's illegal! It's against the Twitch streaming service. Oh, what's up, Yoshi? Thank you for the sub, Prime sub. Always remembering to renew that thing. You're the best. Yeah, when Yoshi comes in, he usually hits us with a 420 Blaze It sound effect, which plays that Snoop Dogg intro. But I always have to mute it for YouTube, otherwise it's an immediate copyright claim. And the dumbest part, now this is, I mean, okay, the dumbest part is I'm using 11 seconds of that song, or I think it's 11 seconds, and it is an identifiable part of the song. And my videos are usually an hour. Oh, didn't mean to launch a carrot in there. So, 1 hour of my content, and 11 seconds of Snoop Dogg layered over the top, or Dr. Dre, something like that. Oh, you know what? I don't really want these things. I'm putting the Q-berries into this. 11 seconds of Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg layered over the top, and if they copyright claim it, which happens automatically for that, then all of the money from my video goes to them because I've used their copyrighted material. Which, the primary source of the content in my videos is me. Like, I am the content in these videos. Obviously, we play games and that kind of thing. So I don't want to say that it's all me, because without the game, we could be sitting here talking, which it would be really hard to build a community around. But the Snoop Dogg Dr. Dre 11 seconds adds hardly anything. I would be hard pressed to find somebody that says, oh yeah, dude, I only watch your stream because of the 11 seconds of the Dr. Dre song that you add. Right? Because if that's the case, then absolutely he deserves all the money from whatever ads happen in the videos. But if there's nobody on earth that would say, I only watch ASDF videos because all the way through because of the Snoop Dogg 11 seconds, then I'm like, YouTube needs to do something different with their monetization. That's one of my biggest complaints. And Ludwig actually talked about this in one of his videos. Like, you can... the way YouTube does it, I don't know if they've done any updates, because again, my channel's not monetized, and also I'm not a music producer, so I wouldn't really know the backside of this. Well, then why have you been talking about it for this whole time? Okay, you got me there. One of the big things is, like, let's say I post a YouTube video, and it's a DJ mix of song that I produced myself through a label, and the Dr. Dre Snoop Dogg. And it's essentially just a fancy crossfade between the two. The Snoop Dogg song comes first, and then halfway through, it does a little bit of mix into my song. Obviously, immediately when I post it, it's gonna get auto-flagged by Dr. Dre. Oh, what's up, Taco? As their content. So they would get all of the monetization on it. But because I produce my song through a record and it exists, I can also copyright claim my own video, which means that the monetization is going to split evenly between my song, which nobody knows, and Dr. Dre. And I feel like a lot of people would come to the video if I just posted it as a Dr. Dre Snoop Dogg video, but then I would get half of the income from it because my song is in the video as well. And that's how YouTube, as of a few months ago, used to do it. And I haven't looked at any updates because, again, I'm not a music producer and my channel's not monetized. But it would be kind of interesting. You could do like a little intro song. You could do a jingle for an intro or an outro, get a copyright on it, and then just release other people's music on YouTube with your little intro or outro, and you'd get half. Not the most honest way to go about it. Yeah. So Taco, I'm doing very well today, thank you. I'm a little sad that we're at the end of the content for Slime Rancher 2. I like that we took our time with it. This is episode 11. So we pretty much in 10 hours were able to finish up the content. Obviously we lost an hour when I lost all those, whatever they're called. All the nectar for the butterfly. And we collected way too much. So that took extra time. Oh, that's the wrong resource. Let's do this one. They're also colorful. Actually, if I just launch tons of logo food into there, that might be a good option. They'll produce tons of forks real quick. If they're hungry, they can eat up to 3. So if I put in 21, well, I put in 20. How are you, Taco? Also, how are you, Yoki? And Nerdy Gamer Gal, if you are still around, I know you're lurking, everyone lurks different, then how are you? What kind of busy has got you busy? Wow, we're up over 7. We're at 75 for those guys. Alright, let's collect the floor. Whoa, we're at 100 floors for these guys. Okay. And they're producing even. Oh boy. Ah, exactly 40. Look at that. It took 2 tries, not just 1, which is less impressive. But whatever. Did I put a market refinery link in here? That's one of the things I want to do with the cleanup for this last episode. I want to put some market links, refinery links, which I know we're probably going to need more jellystone. I'm also going to put these down in the refinery, because I don't think we have a lot of the flutter or the ringtail. We probably, well, I guess we can look at it. We have a lot of flutter, not very many ringtails, so I guess we'll sell the flutter. We have so many flutter ports. How did that happen? Okay, we've done this. We've done all the upgrades except for the pulse wave. We never got around to doing the pulse wave. That's really funny. And we never did the power core. So there's a few treasures around the map. I don't know if the maximum, we're like halfway through the treasures. I don't know if the max that means that we're missing half of them currently, or if they plan to implement that number. So I'm not going to spend a ton of time looking for them now. We have all these home portals that we can create. They all need, oh, they don't all need jellystone. So it would be nice to have those on hand for when we're adventuring out in the future. The Ember Valley portal allows one-way travel to the Ember Valley. That's really cool. And this one's the same in reverse. Let me go get more hunter ports, because then we can put an Ember Valley link on the Starlight Strand Island, and we can do the reverse wherever it drops it off. So we'd have to do a little bit of testing. Okay, I'm going to sell these, and then I'm going to get hunter ports and put them down. The trouble is, I don't know where it would drop us off. Maybe at the island start. And I don't know if that's the ideal spot for the rest. Okay, we probably don't need any honey down there, because we just put a bunch of honey in the refinery. And again, this is like, we don't need the money for everything, because they haven't implemented a money upgrade system, so we just have a lot of money. Obviously, when they implement that, our money reserves are going to dip so fast. Okay, so we're kind of just looking around to see what we got. We still don't have a market link, which is a little bit annoying. We could put, like, the warp depots. We could put one warp depot in each side. You're about to make lunch and put away dishes. Other than that, not too bad. Oh, that's good. That's good. So, are you off work already? We're still on the same time, right? Until daylight savings kicks in again. Is it 1:16 over there for you? There's probably a blueprint for the market link somewhere in the game, so I'm not gonna worry about making these warp depots like next to the market or anything like that. The refinery link is nice. It takes more jellystone, and then we got all these decorations that we can craft that would probably just be really cool. They just take a lot of these resources. So I want a whole cave pillar. Okay. The small boulders is interesting as well. Also, these tall pink coral columns. They're expensive, though. 5 primordial oil. Very expensive. But, no jellystone, which it looks kind of like they're made of jellystone, but oh well, whatever. Same time yesterday and today were your days. Oh, that's right, that's right. Yeah. That's cool. And your car's working out great for you? Hopefully, fingers crossed. I know we had a lot of car trouble recently, so it's definitely a bummer. Okay, well, let's fabricate. Let's do this one, the Ember Valley portal. Let's fabricate the Starlight Strand portal. That'll take our diamonds. Okay. Oh, you can only make one of each. And then we can make a green home portal. And we can make... Oh, we're out of radiant ore now. Okay. That's fine, though. Yeah, we need jellystone. Okay, so we have the portals we can slap down when the new content comes out, which is nice. A new car? Well, we don't have a new car. Taco, a while back, totaled his car. I think his car got totaled. I want to word that properly. I'm not trying to out him as some kind of terrible driver, but his car was totaled. And ended up getting a new one, so... Oh, driving for Lyft, putting more miles on it than you want. Yeah, that's true. I mean, there's definitely a cost analysis for driving for Lyft. That if you're in an area that doesn't have an overly high cost of living, and if you're in an area where not a lot of people drive for Lyft, you can make money. If you live near an airport, you can make money. Otherwise, you gotta do the analysis for your car. You know, if you're driving a Lamborghini, it's not worth the miles to drive Lyft. The payment they give you, expecting you to pay for gas and car maintenance and car insurance, like there's that weird gap in your insurance and everything that happens, is just not worth it if you have like a high-end car. But I mean, you know, if you pick up a Honda Civic or something similar in that kind of like budget tier price range, then totally fine. Put extra miles on it. So, okay, let's see what kind of decor we have, because I would like to. We got a lot of extra decor from people. Oh, we only got 5 decor from people. So, root arches, short pink coral columns. Where should we put a big old tree? Maybe down here. This looks like a good spot for a tree. Yeah, and I think we can pick these up. Yeah, picking it up allows you to place it again. So the decor we can pick up. Actually, you know what? This looks like an even better spot for a tree with a rock attached to it. Oh yeah, that is a thing of beauty right there. Now, we can also, I think, put those teleporters down here for the Ember Island and Starlight Strand and Ember Valley portals. We could put them just in our base so we don't have to run over here every time. But again, I'm going to save them for when the new content comes out, because there could be better spots for them, and they're unique. And I think the teleporters, you can't pick back up, you have to destroy them. So, probably have to figure out a new job soon, but you have no clue. So that, I mean, you were talking about You were talking about maybe coming back to Cali if you don't have kind of a permanent job situation when your lease expires. Is that still on the table for you? Because we would love to have you back here. And are you still looking for a job in the field that you study for, or are you kind of just looking for more of a career job that you can start without having the specific degree for it? Because I know a lot of people have found amazing jobs that they're super happy with, going in both directions. Where you have some people that are some people are like, they knew what they wanted to do. I'm an example of that. Like, I did all the logic and reasoning and figured out what I wanted to do, and kind of like worked an internship before I had fully committed to the degree. And then by the time I got my programming computer science, I had a job lined up, and I love it. Obviously, content creation is fun, and if it picks up into a full-time gig, that would be amazing. And for now, it's a super fun hobby. I like hanging out with all the kids. I definitely like the live stream side for a completely different reason than I like the content creation side, like the YouTube with recording. I like them both. I think content creation adds more flexibility because you can have a strict schedule, but you don't need to do all the work. You just need to make sure it uploads at a certain time. I mean, you have to do all the work. You don't have to do all the work when it uploads. Versus streaming, you have to do all the work and have the schedule. Like, I have to be here for an hour to stream this for an hour. There's planning involved with both that can happen at either time. I'm just doing like a short compare and contrast. See what's going on in the streaming world or the content creation world. There's planning that happened. What? Oh, that's a refinery link. Oh, that's why we had so many flutter ports in the refinery. That makes sense. All right, let's get the rest of these ringtail ports on them into the refinery. There's people like Yoshi. Yeah. Yoshi's the other side of the coin. He dropped into a job, ended up liking it, and now that he's in a career that he enjoys, he's doing the school for it. And I think, honestly, that's the better way. It's unfortunate a lot of companies just won't hire you unless you have a degree, because there's just so many people that want to apply for jobs without the degree that it's just this way. Unless you got to know somebody to get the interview and then impress them in the interview, or you just got to have a degree to get your foot in the door. But as somebody who sat on an interview, on the interviewer side, like, I know that the degree is not so important as like your personality. Most places understand that you can be trained to be competent. Obviously, not all jobs are like that. I don't think you can manage like hedge funds if you don't have some sort of qualification, because they're not just going to give you $4 billion of other people's money to manage if they like you. But I know, like, in software, if you're decently likable and you're competent enough to know your way around basic code, or maybe advanced code, then you can be trained on the rest of it. And I, like, interviewers understand. Yeah. You can go for either. You're looking for a career in general. Well, that's good to hear then. If you're flexible with the career path, then you don't necessarily need to go back and get a master's degree before you even have a job. Like, those industries that require you to have a master's degree or a doctorate degree before you even work in the field to decide if that career is for you, those are brutal. I don't think they should exist. And I understand, like, if you want to be a surgeon, you can't just try surgery before going to med school, which I'm glad that's in place. It would be a total bummer, though, if you went to med school, became a surgeon, and then you were like, you know what? I enjoy watching surgery, so I thought I would enjoy performing surgery, but I hate the lifestyle that this gave me, and I want out, except now I'm $1 million in school, and I can't get out for 15 years. That would be a huge bummer. Although I haven't talked to anyone with a doctorate that said that about it. I know there are people that get master's degrees for their field, and they get the job, and then they hate it, and then they switch careers. And then, fortunately, a lot of people... I think as long as you continue to grow and look for things that are a better situation, you won't be in danger of being stuck. But if you give up, that's when you can get stuck in something that you hate. And you're just like, you know what? I'm okay with not growing anymore. Like, that's when I feel like, this might get kind of morbid, but I feel like people, when they stop growing, is when they start dying. And I don't mean like physical death, but I mean like you're either growing or you're shrinking. There's no like you get to a place where you just get. If you stop growing, even if you're shrinking just a little bit, once you stop expanding your mind, it starts contracting. So when people give up, I feel like is when they've decided that they can decline, at least for a time. Fortunately, if you decide to give up, you can always decide to start growing again. It's just really hard to get out of that cycle where you're like, you know what, I've tried so hard, and in the end, it didn't even matter. So what's the point? I'm not going to try anymore. That's a huge bummer. It kind of breaks my heart when people get to that place, because I'm like, no, you like have so much going for you, like keep going. And it's hard to talk to people about it, because there's so many excuses that sound good, right? Like you can say, well, you know, how do you know? You're not on my career path, you don't understand. Or like, you know, how do you know things worked out for you, but I tried the same thing and they didn't work out? I'm like, yeah, so our lives are different. What I'm telling you is don't give up. I'm not telling you to do things the way I did them. What I'm telling you is don't give up and keep growing and keep expanding and keep doing things and you know, just try. Because you're gonna either be in the situation you're in and try to get out, which gives your life a little bit of purpose, or you're gonna be in the situation you're in and not try to do anything. And so you're going to be aimless and in a situation you don't want to be in. And which of those would you rather be in? You know what I mean? So, yeah. There's a decent amount of jobs here in Cali that could turn into decent career jobs. I said decent twice in the same sentence, and then followed it by saying it again, commenting about how I said it twice. And now I can't say it again, because that would just be too much. It feels really... Oh, I forgot that the speakers... Oh. Hunter slimes aren't so bad when they're not hungry. Huh. It only does music sometimes. Depending on where you're standing, maybe? We have so much... I don't think we're gonna get into the 6 digits. It'd be nice, though. Imagine making 6 figures in a day. Or, you know, close to it. 6 figures in a week. That would put you at 7 figures for the year. You made 6 figures a week. 7 figures would be very nice. I have had the privilege of talking to a few people who are in the 7-figure kind of life. And I mean, obviously they do so much work. And they shoulder a lot of responsibility. You know, like... People talk about how rich people don't have problems, or like their problems are so far removed from quote unquote real life that, you know, who are they to talk about problems? But, you know, let's talk about like 3 tiers of people. Let's say you're employed and you make 6 figures, which in LA is like it's pretty good. It's pretty good in LA. At least for a job. There's a lot of bad jobs in LA. There's a lot of under the table, less than minimum wage kind of situations happening, which is a bummer. But employee, 6 figures, that's like tier 1, right? And we have problems, you know, if you're making 6 figures, but you live in LA you're not going to be able to live exactly where you want to and have the lifestyle that you want and eat all the things you want and do all the things you want. Like one six-figure income in LA does not provide that for you. So the struggle is real. You know what I mean? That struggle of I have to give up things to get other things. And then there's level 2. But the responsibility that you have as an employee, even as a manager, is very low, right? Because you are effectively a cog in a machine that's replaceable. And I know that a lot of people feel like they're irreplaceable in their job. Like if they left, their company would collapse. But, you know, they work for a company that has 300 employees, and if they leave, they get replaced, and then the company is just fine afterwards. So let's not kid ourselves about being cogs in a machine. If you're an employee, most likely you're a cog in a machine, and that's okay, because you're doing work and you're getting paid to do that work. So that's tier 1. And you have like real life struggles of giving up things that, you know, you have to give up some things to get other things. But you're not super responsible. Then there's like small business world, right? Where you're kind of between $100,000 and $1 million, let's say, of yearly profits with a small business. You have other people working for you. Let's say maybe 10 people, 20 people, 30 people, where now, you know, you're making $500,000 a year. So except for the huge mansions in Beverly Hills and all this stuff, you can live how you want, you can do what you want, and you don't have to give up certain parts of your lifestyle to get other parts of your lifestyle that money can afford you. However, you are now responsible for 10, 20, 30, 50 people that work for you. So you're working a lot, and you're not just working for the money anymore. Once you get into the small business world, you bear the responsibility of if your business fails, 50 people are going to lose their jobs, right? Like if your business suffers, you're going to have to fire people. That's a lot of responsibility that normal employees just don't have. And I think don't even think about, you know, and it's kind of sad because like Elon Musk, I would say is the next tier. Like tier 3 is like mega rich, mega corporation, huge business, huge profits, on a whole different level where you don't even know the people that are working for you. And that's like a whole different challenge, because now your responsibilities is like, say Jeff Bezos, let's say Amazon crashed and didn't get bailouts from the government. Like for one, that's a service that the world kind of depends on, at least in the United States. I know not all countries have Amazon, but like we depend a lot on the convenience of Amazon. So if your company dies, that's gonna be a lifestyle hit to tons of people, millions, tens of millions of people are gonna take a lifestyle hit if you fail. And tens of thousands of people directly are gonna lose their jobs. And a lot of those companies are making huge impacts on the world around them. And so Microsoft is a good example, because Bill Gates, before he kind of started Microsoft, really wanted to eliminate malaria in the world. And he created Microsoft, made tons of money, and then made moves to eliminate malaria in the world. Now, it's not gone completely, but it is mostly eradicated. And it's because of the tier 3 person that Bill Gates was, that knew that there are certain things you can only do when you decide to shoulder the responsibility of running a huge corporation. And so like there's big things like that in the world where if you fail and you're in the tier 3, you know that like millions of people over the next decade are going to die of malaria. Or, you know, like if you're into climate change and that's one of the reasons you started your business, like, you know that the planet will be destroyed if you fail. And that it just, there's a reason these people are making billions of dollars. And we don't tend to think about that. So I've had the privilege of being able to talk to some of the people that are in the 7-figure income kind of level, small business owners. And like, it's really refreshing to hear their perspective, because we hear so much in the news of like, you know, people that have money are evil and it's just a green shrub. All right, we'll put the green shrub I'm gonna move it over a little bit so that it's more like where there's no greenery around here. I'm gonna put it right here. Actually, I'm gonna put the roots right here. That looks like a good spot for the roots. And then I'm gonna put orange flowers right here. Yeah. Yeah. That looks, add some orange color to where there's only green. And then I'm gonna find a spot where there's no green for these green shrubs. I have another thing? Oh, I have these pink coral columns. I'm putting them right here. Look at this questioning slime here. He's like, what do you mean you got no gadgets? What's wrong with you? Oh yes, beautiful. Alright, and it looks like this area could use some green shrubs. Beautiful, look at that. There are so many decoration slots that are empty. You could go ham with the decor. And I know that they're just going to keep adding decor more and more and more to this game. But that pretty much does it for this stream. Yeah. Maybe we'll call it a little early. It'll be kind of a short, just talking about people's problems kind of a stream. But all that to say, Taco, we would love to have you back in California. Okay, I think now we can do it. Okay, we put 21 into it. Let's see if we get 21 out of it. So, looks like... Oh, sorry about that. Maybe 12 quarts? Okay, that's fine then. We'll put 24 in, so they'll be good for a little while. How are you out of heartbeats already? My goodness, I shouldn't have burned a whole crop of them. Oh well. Definitely a little to think about, but you have to figure out what to do. Honestly, we both know a guy that would probably dig splitting an apartment cost. If you can't speak for him, but I know that they're the group that we used to kick it with for discipleship back here. If the three of you guys got together and decided to split the cost on like a 3-bedroom condo or apartment or something, like that would probably be a great situation. Just saying, just throwing that out there. Because honestly, when you're in the 3-bedroom condo kind of price range, it's not that much different from like the Arizona cities and the California cities. Not hugely different. A couple of guys maybe know your lease ends at the end of June, so July is when you... Yeah. Because I know one guy is not on a lease, and the other guy I'm not sure about. But I know that he's got some housemates. So I know that if he left, like, he could probably find a replacement for himself and then just bounce. Because I don't think he's carrying the lease. I think one of his housemates officially has the lease, and then they're kind of subletting to each other. I think. I could be wrong on that. Oh, that orange shrub right there looks so nice. Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Okay, well, that'll do it for this end stream here. I'm going to take off a little bit. I'm hungry. I forgot to eat breakfast or lunch. So I'm gonna call it here. Thanks for coming on by, guys. Thanks for lurking. Thanks for talking. Thanks for chatting and just keeping it real. Yeah, if you're on YouTube, please like and subscribe. It's 1 or 2 clicks for you. It really does help me out a ton. We'll come back to Slime Rancher 2 once they release more content, so stay tuned for that series. And as always, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.